Every story follows the rule of cause and effect. But not every story is the same in its approach. M. Night Shyamalan has his own unique way of telling a story. His stories often make use of magical realism, combining fantastical or mythical elements with reality. Shyamalan has had a huge influence on my writing and filmmaking style. I've always been a big fan of the idea of mixing the extraordinary in the lives of ordinary people. It's so interesting to see how different people react to it, how they deal with it, and how they discover themselves in the process. And that is exactly what Shyamalan's stories are about: self-discovery and self-realization. Shyamalan has indeed had his own fair share of hits and misses, but he's a far better writer and a filmmaker than most people realize. Actually, in my humble opinion, he's a great filmmaker. And today I'm here to tell you why, and what better movie to do it with than The Village, which is his most misunderstood movie. To understand The Village better, you have to first understand where Shyamalan was coming from. So let's try to figure out how the concept of The Village came to be. If you ask yourself what is the root cause of all evil in this world, the answer you would most certainly settle upon is money. But what if there was no money? What if mankind had never invented the concept of money? This was probably the idea or question that was giving M. Night Shyamalan sleepless nights before he began working and expanding on it. He started looking for solutions, for answers to questions like, what would the world look like without this thing? How would we survive without it? Of course, humans have, as history tells us, survived without money before. They had what we call the barter system, which is essentially a system of exchanging goods in return for another. However, this was before the concept of money was introduced to the world. And once that happened, there was absolutely no going back. We were spoiled forever. Shyamalan knew eliminating the concept of money from this capitalist world, to put it gently, is impossible. The people in power, the people in control would never let it happen. But what if a small group of people gave up everything they had to go and settle somewhere far away from the evil ways of the world? Shyamalan knew humans as they are would never come together to form this new society or order without any strong reason to do so. This is what formed the skeleton of The Village. Shyamalan then began exploring the reason that could push people towards such a thing. But what could it be? The answer he found was agony. Only agony and strong hatred for this soulless world could make people decide to live a life of isolation. Shyamalan created a group of characters who had all been victims of some heinous acts in their lives. Hence, they made an elaborate plan to disappear from this ugly world and build a haven of their own with no outside interference. But where could they find such a place? Would this capitalist world let them live in peace? It was only possible if they owned that part of the land, which Shyamalan made sure they did. The irony being, to live without money, they first had to have money. The next step was developing this new world, the village, and exploring the possibilities of its sustenance. Because, well, self-sustenance was the only way this village and its people could survive without the help of the outside world. The plan, if worked out properly, seemed immaculate. However, Shyamalan knew the elders or the hierarchs would face several challenges to keep their seemingly perfect world from falling apart. And the biggest of them would be their kids. The elders had lived in the towns and they were victims of violent, cruel acts. But their kids never personally experienced any of it. And the kids, as rebellious as they are, would one day ask permission to go to the towns. So, how could they keep their kids from ever venturing out? The only possible solution was fear. Throughout human history, powerful people have used fear as a tool to control people. The elders took inspiration from both history and mythology to create stories of fear. They came up with the idea of developing a myth of creatures living in the woods, which would serve as a way to keep their kids in the village. Isn't it ironic that the very people who isolated themselves in search of peace had to rely on stories of violent creatures and the power of fear to maintain peace in their world? Shyamalan had an interesting concept on his hands. He knew he had created a unique world that was full of possibilities. And so he started developing this story further. While doing so, Shyamalan realized that the poetic thing to do was to put a love story at the heart of the village. How so? Let me ask you, what is that one thing that has the power to conquer fear? What is that one thing that has the power to conquer the unconquerable? It is love. The Village is a misunderstood film. It is much more than a regular horror flick. It is a social commentary that explores themes like man's eternal search for love and peace, the concept of fear, and man's need for violence. In this scene, August Nicholson foretells us the events that are about to unfold, the extraordinary events that would force the elders to risk their creation. In this scene where Lucius and Ivy kiss, notice how Shyamalan moves the camera away to show us an empty chair on the porch. Just like the empty chairs, you see wood-burning stoves and fireplaces everywhere in the movie. What do these symbols mean? Let's talk about the chairs first. Chairs are like symbols of power and hierarchy. This is why only the hierarchs sit in those rocking chairs in the village. Well, until Noah takes things into his own hands and tries to kill Lucius. And right after that violent act, he goes back to his house and sits down in the rocking chair that is kept on the porch, symbolizing the rise of social conflict and disorder. But what about all those empty chairs? If you think about it, chairs mean nothing without the people in them. While empty chairs symbolize traces of life, they also represent loss, solitude, and sorrow. In this scene where Noah stabs Lucius repeatedly, Shyamalan, instead of showing us the action, moves the camera away to a wood-burning stove. Why does he do that? What does it mean? The wood-burning stoves represent raging but unfulfilled desires. To better understand this, let's take a look at this scene which comes right before Lucius is stabbed. This is where Alice Hunt, Lucius's mother, and Edward Walker, Ivy's father, address Lucius and Ivy's romantic relationship. Before we dive deep into this scene, you have to remember that Alice Hunt and Edward Walker have feelings for each other. Now notice the framing in this scene. There is a wood-burning stove in the background in each of these shots, showing Alice and Edward in the foreground, referencing unfulfilled desires because the equation had been different had they admitted to their feelings for each other. It would have made things pretty complicated for everyone involved. Following this, Lucius is stabbed and the camera turns focus to another wood-burning stove, which again references Lucius and Noah's unfulfilled desires because they both love Ivy. Also notice how Lucius clutches the table leg while he is being stabbed with a knife. I'd like to think he was trying to hold on to life because the table, which is another man-made object, symbolizes materialism. Now let's take a look at these two scenes involving Kitty, Ivy, and a fireplace. In the first scene, Ivy, who is in love with Lucius, is consoling her crying sister, Kitty, after she is rejected by Lucius. Notice the open fireplace in the room. Later on, we see Kitty wiping off Ivy's tears as she gives her permission to marry Lucius, letting go of what happened for the sake of her sister's happiness. And again, Shyamalan includes the fireplace in the frame. The open fireplace in these scenes represents love and compassion, which is in direct contrast with the wood-burning stoves representing unfulfilled desires. Remember, this scene is happening at the same time as Lucius is being stabbed. This way, Shyamalan also establishes the contrast in the characters of Kitty and Noah. One is forgiving, while the other not so much. On the whole, the chairs, the tables, the doors, these are all man-made objects that also symbolize human society and civilization. These objects in the movie appear as part of various motifs. Shyamalan even uses a lot of pillow shots to develop these motifs. Another motif used excellently by Shyamalan in The Village is color. The red color, which is the color of those we don't speak of, symbolizes sin and danger. Whereas the color yellow, which is the color of the people of the village, represents innocence. Talking about The Village, without mentioning the breathtaking cinematography of Roger Deakins and the beautiful background score by James Newton Howard, is like committing a crime. They are both my absolute favorites in their respective departments. The fact that Shyamalan, Deakins, and Howard collaborated on a project still feels to me like a dream too good to be true. I've been a big fan of the works of Shyamalan and Howard since my early teens, and their collaboration on numerous films has played a vital role in making me who I am today. Among them, The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and Signs remain three of my favorite films.